Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. There's a brand new official comic with Bastion and TORBJORN, and it gives us a hint about a possible change in TORBJORN's abilities. Could he be getting a redesign, or is it just a stupid Pokemon joke? Find out next time on Overwatch Z.
Hey, Bastion, check this out. Boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop.
There's been a whole bunch of these comics, and just like the animations, Blizzard tries to use them in order to fill in some of the gaps in the Overwatch story, because let's face it, we're not getting it from the actual game. And the most recent one shows off how TORBJORN met Bastion for the first time. TORBJORN initially sets out to destroy the robot, spoilers, but realizes that something is different when Bastion is more interested in playing with cute fuzzy forest animals than he is at trying to fight anyone. I'll put a link down below so you can go and read the full comic if you want. The thing that got my attention was what appears to be a new ability for TORBJORN. During the comic, he uses a new weapon that we've never seen before. He builds a turret, and then he throws a small metal ball out into an open area. It basically looks like a Pokeball. Now, a little bit later on, he uses a remote to detonate this new Pokeball thing. And what it does is it fires out a lot of cable that wraps around a couple of soldiers and basically traps them against a tree. Kind of like how Spider-Man would use his webbing in order to stop a bad guy from moving. And now time for a disclaimer. It's entirely possible that this was done only for the comics, that TORBJORN is not getting a new ability, and that Blizzard thought it would be funny to basically turn him into Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. So the whole thing could just be a big joke. Not gonna lie, it seems like it would be a very good possibility. Blizzard likes to do this sort of stuff. In World of Warcraft, for example, there are literally thousands of quests and NPCs that are basically just jokes like this. End of disclaimer. Or it could be a brand new hidden ability that TORBJORN is getting in an upcoming redesign. Because let's face it, the character is pretty much garbage. Now, I know some of you guys like to use TORBJORN and probably got mad that I said he's garbage, but the fact of the matter is, TORBJORN has one of the lowest pick rates in high-level play. In nearly all tournaments, you will see TORBJORN with a 0% pick rate. Sometimes, if you're really lucky and you wish really hard upon a star, his pick rate might skyrocket all the way up to a whopping 2%. About as much as milk. But that's about it. The reason for this is because the character has a very flawed and static design. I actually plan on making a video discussing a complete redesign of the character, so I'm not going to go into massive details here, but suffice it to say, the main problem with TORBJORN is his turret. Because he relies on the turret for most of his damage, it's very good for lower skill players, but very bad for higher skill players. In the current design of TORBJORN, emphasis is placed on the turret and not on the hero itself. And this is why he has a high pick rate in the lower end, but almost never sees the light of day in the higher end of play. So what TORBJORN needs is a fundamental change in the character, from a much more passive turret babysitting role to one where the character is much more engaged in the actual fight. Now, looking at the new weapon he used in the comic, let's try to take that and put it into the game and figure out how it might work. We already have something kind of similar with the steel trap from Junkrat, but I think this would be a little bit different, because the cable from the Pokeball weapon thingy completely wraps up the enemy, and it seems like it wouldn't be an immobilize like the steel trap, but instead it would be more of a full-on stun like Earth Shatter. Now, granted, it would only affect one person at a time, and it would probably only last for maybe like 1 or 2 seconds. Longer than the flashbang from McCree, but definitely not as long as Earth Shatter from Reinhardt. Blizzard generally doesn't like abilities that prevent a player from being able to control his character, but there are some other things in the game already that show that they might allow an ability like this. For example, when Mei is able to completely freeze an enemy hero. So if they put this in, does that mean they have to take something out? Because he already has a bunch of stuff to do. I don't think they're ever going to get rid of the turret, So does that mean Blizzard could be thinking about getting rid of the armor packs? I don't know, I kinda actually like them. They're not as good as a full-on healer, but it's a unique ability, and it does give some pretty good survivability to some of the lower health characters. Or maybe they could just add the new Pokeball thing as a right-click. Or maybe it's all just a stupid Pokemon joke in a comic. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all of this. Give your feedback in the comment section down below, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button, share it with your friends. Remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.